you're welcome.
Have a seat, Mr. Kale.
Oh, yes, sir.
Are those real flowers on your hat?
Oh, yes, sir.
Did you make it? The arrangement?
Did I make it?
Did you make the arrangement?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's only on for custody visitation. So, is he unmuted it or mic and you will start the live stream? You got it? Mine? No.
We're live. It should be.
Oh, you know what? I'll pop it. I did it. I have one. Is it this one? Yeah. Can you call it? You called him?
No. We're live.
Didn't answer?
You got it?
This is it? No. Yeah.
You went out this door?
Marina.
Hi, I'm David Moore, race attorney. This is the paperwork, you wanna take a look at it.
Did you already give paperwork to her?
And, when
Mom,
the court
No,
done this
do you have a
morning,
copy?
I do actually.
we can put it on the file.
Where's the narrative?
That's what I was given at room 208 after I left.
I'll make a copy of it. Personnel file, can I have that?
All right, we're back to the Robinson matter. I see Mr. Gunther, Ms. Whitting, and I believe that I see Ms. Robinson. Can we proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, somebody faxed in a disso master from Mr. Sua's office, Mr. Gunther, showing a Santa Clara spousal support Pendente Lite order of $767 per month. Is there any dispute regarding this, Ms. Whitting?
I haven't received it. I didn't get one that low. He sent me 3 different DISO masters taking the mortgage interest and property taxes off. None of them had that number.
I stand corrected. He in fact sent me 3. And I've got a busy morning. What more do I have to do on this case, Mr. Gunther?
I'm sorry.
The issue that we would have is Ms. Whitting wishes to put itemized deductions into my client's column. For the property tax and interest deduction on the house, which is speculative as to whether that will actually add up. They have typically used the standard deduction as that has provided a greater tax rate for them on their taxes. Only other issue, I wasn't clear on your instructions as to what we're doing with the $500. Are we completely ignoring it?
Well, you guys were gonna talk about this. I don't care what you do with it. You can put $250 in both columns if you want. It's taxable income if they choose to report it. You can hold off on that. I'm not in this for the IRS. And we'll worry about that as a deduction from an Epstein credit some other day. I thought you guys were gonna talk about doing something sensible with this $500 a month.
We did not address the $500, Your Honor. I don't mind addressing it as a credit in the future. I go with the position that Mrs. Robinson is receiving the money. And there's no tax being paid on it, which puts her other non-taxable income at $1,196. Husband pays $832 a month. I removed the itemized deductions because it's pure speculation. And Mrs. Robinson, if they're gonna be itemized, she would be entitled to half of it.
No, that is completely wrong. What you're doing is you are saying it's speculative. He is paying mortgage interest and property taxes. He is living in the house. That is an actual deduction. It was on all your prior ones. It's taken off because you're trying to get the support down. I understand it. But when you have a single filing status and he's the one in the house, you can't allocate her having part of the property tax and the interest expense when she doesn't live there and she's not paying for it. He's there and he's paying for it. There's no dispute that it's $544 for the property taxes and $806 for the interest deduction. And those are real expenses now, and Mr. Gunther just wants to eliminate that and take that completely off the plate. I think we were in agreement in saying that 500 is kind of off the table and we'll deal with it later. It does go into a joint checking account. From that money, it is a joint consolidated loan that's paid for it. It should just be off the table right now. Did the court receive the DISO master that I faxed into Tamika?
No. Oh, yes, I did. I do have it.
Okay. That is the one that I think reflects the single status, the one exemption, their current earnings, her social security is non-taxable, his health insurance, and right now the property tax and the interest. That's what we put forth as what the Pendente lady order should be at this time based on these circumstances.
Okay, counsel, the tentative is to adopt Ms. Whitting's DISO master. What do you want to say dramatic about that, Mr. Gunther?
The only thing I've got to say dramatic is that we dispute the itemized deductions because the house is likely going to be sold. Standard deduction is going to be taking precedence in this. He isn't going to be taking advantage of this. We're going to move this along and attempt to get a stipulation
can sell the property, but the deductions are still gonna be taken. And I've never ignored itemized deductions because I was told the parties take a standard deduction. There's no place for a standard deduction on a ditto master. All right, okay, counsel, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. But I'm adopting Miss Whitting's ditto master, and I'm looking now for a retroactive date on this order. Ms. Whitting, it appears that you filed back on January 5th. I'm looking for a proof of service. It appears that you served this by mail on January the 12th, so the effective date of this would be February the 1st, 2021. Ms. Whitting, I'm going to ask you to prepare an order after hearing and attach a copy of your ditto master. Send it to Mr. Gunther for approval, and then to me for signature.
Yes, Your Honor. As to the issue of attorney's fees?
Attorney's fees, I'm looking at a ditto master now that shows, well, it's, Mr. Gunther, Ms. Whitting, can we go back to the good old days on this, when I had attorneys in my courtroom and a ditto master machine outside my door, because on the copy that Ms. Whitting sent to me, it reduced it down where I could not see the net spendable income for life.
I can read that to you, Your Honor.
It starts with a 2. What is it?
2925 is the net spendable for wife, and the net spendable for husband is 3958.
Okay, now what are you asking for in attorney's fees, Ms. Whitting?
$10,000.
Where is that going to come from?
Quite frankly, there could be a credit card payment. Mr. Robinson has 2 credit cards that one of them has over $20,000 of available credit, and the other has about $15,000 of available credit, and he put his attorney's fees on the credit card.
What have you earned to date, Ms. Whitting?
I have been paid $5,000 to date, and I'm owed $3,000.
Comments, Mr. Gunther?
We believe that in this order, that the playing field is being leveled out at $1,203 per month being paid in spousal support. To expect Mr. Robinson to incur significant credit card debt, I do not believe is reasonable. I think there's other ways that this can be approached, including tapping into equity on the home through a sale that would allow all fees to be caught up if Mrs. Robinson is owing Mrs. Whitting funds. $10,000, my client, for attorney's fees is simply not reasonable. I think it's an overreach there. Mrs. Robinson did come up with the $5,000 previously. Not sure where it came from, apparently a loan, but Mr. Robinson, if he has to put that on a credit card, is paying 20% interest alone on that. But we go back to the initial position, the playing field is leveled on this. I do think $10,000 is excessive.
How much equity is in the former family residence?
I believe it's over $400,000.
Does somebody want to buy somebody out?
My client definitely cannot afford that whatsoever.
Mr. Gunther, you talked about selling the house, right?
That is correct.
Okay. I'm in the reality business. This case needs to have the house sold in order to fund the litigation of this case. That's what has to happen. Now, Ms. Whitting, I'm willing to make an appropriate attorney fee order in your favor, but you're not gonna like it. So, you can repeat your request and I'll rule on it, or you can hold off and expect to get paid from the sale of the sale proceeds of the residence. Your choice, ma'am.
Well, with that preamble that you give him, that I'm not gonna like any attorney fee order, this on reserve. I had at least asked Mr. Gunther whether Mr. Robinson, since he won't let my client be on any of the credit cards, would have let her at least use one to pay my fees subject to that reallocation or possibly later. So that would have been my one suggestion, and then she could make the minimum payment on that empty card.
Okay, let me be clear about this. Ms. Whitting is entitled to an award of fees. She's gonna get it now, she's gonna get it later, but she's gonna get an award of fees. If I'm pressed to make an award today, I will, but I repeat myself, Ms. Whitting's not gonna like what I do. So, that's where I am this morning.
All right, Your Honor, at this point, then I would like the court to reserve the issue of attorney's fees.
All right, issue of attorney's fees is reserved. All right, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
All right, let's do the Kuo matter.
Ask them to turn off their live stream, that's the,
Ooh.
all of them, they have the live stream on, they need to turn it off.
Okay, everybody needs to turn off their live stream. We're gonna try again. Good morning, Ms. Santo.
Good morning.
Good morning, Good morning.
I think Ms. Santo went to get assistance. Okay, she's there.
All right, good morning, Ms. Santo.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm sorry I lost my audio.
I only make about 35 Zoom mistakes a day, so don't worry about it.
Thank you.
Your appearance, Ms. Santo?
Yes, a special occurrence for the respondent, Freddie Ricola.
And Mr. Wojcik, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor, Ken Boychuk, attorney for Carlos Napoleon.
Okay, this comes on for hearing on Ms. Santo's motion to quash. I'm pinch hitting for Judge Johnson this morning, and I'm at the end of a huge courtroom 31 calendar, so I apologize for not reading your motion. How do you want to proceed, Ms. Santo?
I would certainly like the motion to be heard, and my concern is procedural. As the way I read the rules is the judge can continue this on its own motion. But I'm not requesting a continuance in order to continue to have a special occurrence.
Okay. All right, Mr. Wojcik, what do you think that husband's connection is with the state of California?
I believe that, first, our argument, is that husband is domiciled here. They filed tax returns here in California, since their marriage in 2005. They've maintained California residency, throughout his military service. Even before, when they first left California, they moved to Maryland, and then New Jersey, and then filed, California, tax returns as
be clear about this. Number one, I have not read the file. I'm happy to do it and come back to you at 1:30. Now, that's number one. Number two, Ms. Santo, I assume your complaint is that your client has no connection with California, right?
No significant connection, Your Honor. And his domicile is clearly, in Florida.
Okay, everybody needs to understand, I don't care where the petitioner's domicile is. She filed here, she's consenting to jurisdiction here. If there's no question, there's no issue regarding the petitioner's connection with California. The only question is the respondent's connection to California. Does everybody understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Mochak? Okay. May I see you again at 1:30?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, taking up the Houston ex parte, Marina and Raymond. Mr. Moore?
Morning, Your Honor, David Lee Moore, for respondent Raymond Houston, who's present.
Good morning. Ms. Houston, are you representing yourself?
Well, for now, I am, but I'd like an opportunity to obtain representation myself.
You don't have a lawyer waiting out in the hall or something like that, do you?
No.
Okay. Ms. Houston, did you get a copy of the paperwork that Mr. Moore wants to file today?
I did just this morning.
And what's your response? I assume you had a chance to read it.
I did.
What's your response to this?
I disagree with it.
Okay, Ms. Houston, where are you living?
Currently I'm living in Lancaster, California,
And how long have you been there?
since January 2nd.
Right?
Correct.
Okay, the sign out front doesn't say it, but Raymond is my middle name. Raymond is, 11?
He is.
What, caused you to move to Lancaster, man?
Being closer to family and friends and a business opportunity for myself. I've been out here in Ventura County for the past 9 years struggling without any friends or family.
Did Dad know that you were moving Raymond to Lancaster?
No, he didn't know ahead of time, but I did tell him afterwards.
You told him after the fact.
Correct.
Mr. Moore, what kind of visitation did your client have before, the move?
The parties were sharing 7 days, week on, week off. They would go from Monday to Monday, Monday being the switch day.
Was that pursuant to the terms of the judgment? Or was that just what they were doing?
Use my car.
Sure. Were they doing week on, week off pursuant to the terms of the judgment, or was that just what their
Pursuant
arrangement?
to the judgment, except that the judgment said their switch days were gonna be Sunday, but they agreed to Mondays.
Do you agree with that, ma'am? Is that what the judgment said?
That's what the judge said, but
Were you
that's not
doing that?
what, that's not what he was doing, and that's it at all.
What were you doing?
He was dropping them to me every morning, Monday through Friday, at about anywhere between 4 and 4:30 in the morning. I would take him to school, and sometimes I would pick him up or he would pick him up. But during his week, he would always drop him off to me every morning, and I would take him to school.
Let's get you an emergency mediation. What's Raymond doing in school these days, Ms. Houston?
He's now being homeschooled. He's no longer in distance learning. He's in homeschool now so that he can get full one-on-one attention that he needs.
Are you doing the homeschooling?
Yes, I am.
Are you credentialed?
No, I'm not, but I'm working on that part.
All right, you're ordered to mediation February 24th, 2021 at 8:15. Ma'am, I assume you have not been through the mediation process before. I have 13 trained custody visitation experts who interview you, Dad, and Raymond. That all happens over Zoom, and then hopefully you'll reach an agreement. If you're unable to reach an agreement, the mediator publishes a recommendation to me as to what I should do. And I listen to the mediator, I listen to each side, and then I decide. So I'm gonna see everybody back here following mediation. So that's gonna be February 24th, 2021 at 8:30. Computer says 8:30, but you come to court after you're done in mediation. Mr. Moore is gonna help you, ma'am, figure out how to confirm that mediation appointment. Now, if you wanna write up something for the mediator to read, and I'm certain you do, you're gonna need to file that with the court and get a copy to Mr. Moore no later than Monday, February the 22nd. Okay, good luck to everybody, thank you.
And Your Honor, just a question.
Sure.
I was informed by Mr. Houston yesterday that I'm not allowed to pick up my son.
Yeah.
When?
Yeah, I'm not making any orders today.
Okay.
I did you the world's greatest favor. I got you into mediation next week. Some people were waiting months for that.
Okay.
So I'm not making any orders today. You guys figure out what to do with Raymond between now and then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Miss, hold on a second. Mr. Moore, go with her over to the mediation window and confirm the mediation.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, calling the ex parte in the tail. Aguilar matter. Tail, good morning.
Please go with
Good morning.
Just put them on the table right there. Go ahead.
Morning, Mr. Tail.
Good morning.
Are you still representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Let's have you face the clerk, raise your right hand, this one, please.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you may give in the matter now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, miss.
Thank you.
Mr. Gill, did you talk to Ms. Aguilar, or did you leave a message?
I left a message. I left a message and called a few times.
Yeah, I know it sounds silly, Mr. Gill, but you need to use a pen, not a pencil on this stuff.
That's a copy. Sir.
So you did this in pencil and then you made a copy?
Yes, Your Honor.
You need to use a pen. How have the visits been going, Mr. Gill?
They've been going good and bad. I've had a few issues. If I'm able to speak and let you know about them.
You've been having your visits, right?
No, actually, she's canceled visits for about 3 weeks. She's saying that he's sick and has a cold and has him I have a lot to say, but
Okay.
yeah, she's been canceling the visits for over 3 weeks.
All right, I'm gonna set this for a hearing on, March the 2nd at 8:30 in this court. You're gonna have to personally serve, that means somebody else, somebody other than you, over the age of 18, is gonna have to personally hand her a copy of this on or before February the 25th.
Okay, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll see everybody back and hear all about this on March the 2nd. Good luck to you, Mr. Kale, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.